Hello and welcome. Amudar Pratap Singh, you're joining us on NewsX. Let's get started with our big focus this hour. New questions are swelling in the Air India crash as fresh details have shifted focus from pilots to Boeing systems in the Air India Dreamliner crash that killed 260 people. After a stabilizer glitch report, the pilot's body has released its own findings, strongly contesting the AAIB's RAT justification. Simulator tests and new case studies reportedly show the aircraft should have remained controllable. A new report also claims that a Boeing RAT glitch may have played a role, with both fuel switches moving to cut off seconds after takeoff. Despite the crew's confusion on the voice recorder, investigators are digging deeper into possible systems failure. The big question then is, when will the AAIB finally release its full report? Joining us on the broadcast is Captain C.S. Randhawa, President Federation of Indian Pilots. Also with us, Group Captain M.J. Augustine Vinod, defense expert. Let me make a start with you first. Captain Randhawa, what do you make of these fresh revelations which have emerged, which once again are shifting the theory away from pilot error to system glitches?
Good evening, and to my co-panelists. This report of the simulator, which was carried out by the attorney law firm in US, Mr. Mike Anders, and this company's name is Beasley Allen Law Firm. So now they carried out, because they were not in agreement with the timings of the preliminary report, so were we. So on a CAD D, on a level D simulator of 787, the few things about the prelim report were tested on the simulator. Now, simulator is basically a device which can replicate an aircraft, and on which we train the pilots, and even we check it. It's a zero-time simulator, so everything is correctly valid on it. So the point is that during the course of the simulator was carried out, and I cannot reveal you where it was carried out, but it was a EASA certified simulator, and the pilots were certified on the 787. Now, very interesting things revealed from the report. First and foremost thing which revealed was that the RAD deployment and the pressurizing the hydraulics takes place in 6 seconds. And in case it is because of the loss of 2 engines, then the engines have to spool down to below flight idle, and that takes 12 seconds. So if it is due to the fuel, okay, then it will take 18 seconds. Whereas in case of electrical problem, or there is a problem with the hydraulics, then it is supposed to pressurize the hydraulics in 6 seconds. Now, going by the preliminary report, which says that the fuel control switch, the number 1 engine fuel control switch, it was cut off at 42, 080842, and the number 2 engine, it was cut at 43, and the hydraulics pressurized at 47. Now, this timing is out because going by the test reports and going by the manufacturer of this RAT control is Hamilton Sunstrand. The technical data which is available, which we have forwarded to the AAIB even in March, and when we said that please carry out a simulator to correlate what are the timing given and then redefine the timelines which are given there. However, we do not know if AAIB has carried out a simulator. We have brought out very glaring facts that this report does not support what has come out from the report on the simulator which was conducted last month. Now, this report was submitted by Mike Anders into the US Senate, and it is also it is actually marked to the Director General of the US Transport.
Okay.
And he submitted this report, and he forwarded 1 copy of the report to us. So he requested us to take it up with the AIB,
yes,
which we have taken up with the AIB. highlighting that this is the problem in the, and I have got some more evidence.
Okay.
Now, the evidence is that one point is about this paring of hydraulics. So when the paring of hydraulics is there, so in this paring of hydraulics, it takes 47 to 6 seconds is required. Now, since it does not match what is actually happening, so it points towards the electrical failure. Because if it was due to engines, then it will take 12 seconds to spool down from the second engine, and then it will take 6 seconds for the rat to deploy and power the hydraulics. So that is ruled out. Point number one. Point number two is that the CVR takes the feed from pilot in command is sitting on the left and the pilot monitoring on the right. So their individual mics, they are able to decipher that whether this call came from the left or the right seat. Now, in case of electrical failure, these mics will fail. So they will have to rely on the mic which is on the overhead, which is a common mic, which does not, which will, you can analyze it from the voice of the captain or the first officer. So that is point number two, leading towards electrical failure. The third point is that the landing gear did not go up. The first action after getting airborne, the pilot takes is to says positive climb and the gear is taken up. Gear has not gone up. Again, pointing towards electrical problem. Though the report says that the aircraft transited into air mode at the time of unstick, but we feel it has gone back to air mode, which is not clear from the report, or it will be verified only on the EFR. And in that case, what will happen is that it will cut off the engines if it goes to ground mode, and the gear will not go up because it is presuming aircraft is on ground. Lastly, the lone survivor,
yes,
Mr. Vishwas,
yes,
he made a statement in the hospital that he heard a loud bang
absolutely
in the rear part of the aircraft,
absolutely,
and he saw flickering of lights, again pointing towards electrical failure. The last point I want to make, there are two DFDRs on the aircraft. One is in the nose, one is in the tail. Tail was absolutely intact. Now, if you see the crash,
yeah,
the nose was totally burnt with a lot of fire. The EFR in the front compartment was totally coated with soot and there was no problem. The rear part with the tail, which was intact, the APU door, everything was intact. There was extensive damage to the EFR.
okay,
and there is no soot marks, again leading to an electrical problem and correlated with the statement of the survived passenger.
okay.
So
No, you
there are
made some.
five
You made some
indicators.
interesting. Yeah, you made some interesting arguments and interesting points which have to be examined. I will come back to you for a couple of follow-up questions. But let me also quickly join Group Captain M.J. Augustine Vinod, because these are many new theories that are now coming to light. Group Captain Vinod, what do you make of what the pilot's body now is saying, raising various questions on the theories put forth earlier? Also, there is this report that is talking about a Boeing rat glitch as well. Others are talking about systemic glitches. What do you make of these new revelations, and what is your inference on which way things are headed, in finding out really what was behind that AI crash in Ahmedabad?
Thank you for having me over. In fact, Captain Randhawa is in the know of what really happened and where we are headed and stuff like that. So therefore, I will refrain from talking about this accident per se. What is important for viewers to understand are two things. One, no inquiry body ever, at least in India, and I've been part of many, many inquiries, including fatal ones, are under pressure from anybody. So that should, be completely taken out of people's minds. Second question that people are asking is, why is it taking so long? Air accident investigations is a time-consuming, project, especially when loss of lives are too many. For for a reason that everybody's claims have to be processed, and that stems out of these aircraft accident investigation. So the paperwork involved is huge. Um, the simulations that you need to do, the way so beautifully covered by Captain Randhawa, are too many. And even then, coming to a conclusion is sometimes is a best guess. So even with all kinds of information, it ends up to be a best guess. For case in point is the MCAS related accidents. That the first accident was totally different direction that the inquiry went about until the second accident happened, and is the time people realized the angle of attack gauge, the way it is fitted, is where the trouble started from in case of MCAS. So it takes time, and sometimes you may not reach the core reason as to why any particular accident happened. As after having conducted umpteen number of accident investigation, I'm telling you this. So, what I urge people is have faith in the system, firstly. Secondly, have faith in the professionals who are, trying to reach the bottom of this. And third, and most importantly, even after this accident, 787s have been flying, and there have been no major accident or incident involving this particular aeroplane. And the amount of redundancies that is there in this aeroplane is a hell of a lot.
No, but still, Group Captain Vinod, if we don't get to the bottom of what happened, no lessons will be learnt. Yes, thankfully, there have been no other aberrations. But the fact is, until we don't know what exactly happened which caused the flight to go down, no lessons will be learned, no corrective steps will be taken.
You're absolutely right. I mean, there's no two ways about it. And that is the reason why it is like that six blind men and the elephant story. Depending on which part of the elephant you have gotten hold on to, you would imagine the elephant is like that. So in this case, it is exactly that, because we have very, bits and pieces of information in the open domain. So until the complete picture is clear, and when is the complete picture clear? When the accident investigation report is made public. That is the time we will have the complete picture of how an elephant looks. Until that time, in my opinion, it is not only this, any accident investigation, when we talk about even before the report comes out, is a best guess. Sometimes the best guess is correct. Sometimes the best guess could be wrong. Maybe you're holding on to the tail and thinking the elephant is so thin.
Yes,
so that is the long and short of
absolutely. The fact also is, Captain Randhawa, that many other similar tests, other case studies have also been done. Certain glitches happen, and those are, of course, those should be avoidable. But when they happen, the aircraft is still controllable. What happened which made this aircraft uncontrollable is obviously what we need to get to the bottom of. Now, should these findings be considered by the AAIB? What is really leading to this delay? By when do you expect a final report to be out? Captain Randhawa.
See, first I would like to, clarify 2 points made by Group Captain Vinod. First and foremost thing, we have questioned the investigations held by the AAIB. 2 out of these 6 people, they are ex-Air Force who have never been associated with the aircraft. Okay, engineers on a Pichora, that is missiles. I am also ex-Air Force. So that is one. There are 3 people from DGCA, that is direct conflict of interest. They do not meet the qualification requirements as listed in ICAO Doc 9756, which is a part of ICAO Annexure 13, which is on an aircraft accident and incident. Point number 1. So right from the word go, we told the ministry and the AIB that you need to put subject matter experts, because these people who are there, part of the investigators, they lack the expertise. So you need to have pilots and engineers and air safety specialists who have worked on the 787 aircraft and having a lot of experience. With great difficulty, they put Captain R.S. Sandhu, who was ex-director of operations Air India and a senior examiner on 787 aircraft. He was put. Somehow, the it was reported in the Economic Times also that he was never being taken into confidence. Okay. And on the contrary, an ex-Jet Airways 737 pilot has been inducted into the investigations, who has no knowledge about 787 aircraft. Till date, we do not know if AIB ever inducted any engineer or air safety specialist who is having a lot of expertise and qualified on the 787 aircraft. The third point, there has been no transparency. That is why we went to Supreme Court and filed a petition along with the co-petitioner, that is Captain Sabharwal's father, because we did not find transparency on the slide. Two people were sent by the AIB as Air Force doctors, retired Air Force doctors who were supposed to be psychologists, went to his father's place on August 30th last year, and his father thought they have come to pay condolences. They started checking the mental health of the pilot. So there has been no transparency. We have no faith in the system, and it is seen beyond doubt all over the world. When the pilots die, there is an indication of closing the inquiry by putting the blame on the pilots. Now, let me correct Group Captain Vinod. Both the accidents on 737 MAX, the first one took place in Indonesia, Lion 302. And the second one, because the blame was put on the pilots. Pilot died. He was an Indian pilot. And the Boeing company blamed it on the pilot. The second accident after a few months happened in Ethiopia, Ethiopian 610. Now, when that happened, the black boxes, which are the DFDRs and the CVR, the investigators, I must compliment them, they never took it to US. They took it to Germany. So they could not decode it over there. And subsequently, they flew down to Airbus in Toulouse, where it was decoded, and they came to know, because the second accident also, blame was being put on the pilots. Then everything revealed that this new MCAS system has been installed by a Boeing company, but it was never disseminated either to pilots nor to engineers, and neither it was documented in the technical manuals. So I wanted to correct Group Captain Vinod. Now you're coming to your question,
Yes.
Uday. When my last letter I wrote to the AIB and Ministry was on 5th of June, in which I have said there are 11 codes which were transmitted between 070753 to 0809. And these codes are transmitted by the aircraft health monitoring system, and which can be decoded only by Boeing. What are these? They have not mentioned in the preliminary report. What are these codes? This we have come to know, because these codes are available with Air India and with Boeing. And we have listed these, and we have sent it that let the AAIB investigate what are these codes, and they should be decoded by because we feel there have been problems in the electrical system and disturbances and all before departure of this flight. Now, in the same letter, I mentioned very clearly in my last para, it is requested that the AIB does not come with an interim report, because the Western media had already said that
Right.
AIB will come up with the interim report. So I requested not to come out with the interim report, because the ICAO Annexure 13 does not say so, that AIB has to come out with the report. So I was very happy that they did not come out with the report, because it leads to speculations, and as they have given that CVR, a part of the transcript, where more confusion had been caused, and the Supreme Court gave a relief and said, do not blame the pilots, because it is still under investigation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? But yet people have jumped the gun. Vandana Singh has also joined us now. Aviation expert Vandana Singh, what do you make of these revelations? What the pilots' body now is demanding and claiming as far as what they believe went wrong with the aircraft and which way they feel the investigation should go. Meanwhile, new reports, new theories continue to emerge, Vandana. Which way is this investigation going, and what is your inference on these new claims?
My inference, Uday, is completely with the FIP's, the letters that they're sending, the representation they are doing. As I mentioned earlier also, we should not be in a hurry because every theory, every hypothesis needs to be tested here. We have to understand that after 1 year, instead of following the 50-50 principle at least, they went after the pilot, they went after his family, they went after his psyche. 10 months later, they went after the sole survivor, which they should have done before. As per rules and regulation, they should have done it after 4 months already. Instead, after 11 months, we get this news, that this is going to take some time. So I'd rather they take time, 3 months plus 3 months, they can take 6 months. But they should come out with the correct theory, the correct result, why this accident happened. The reason is, as I mentioned earlier, this is the world's worst 787 disaster. There are 787s, 1,200 of them flying around as we speak. We do not want another 787 disaster. Same thing happened with 737, as Captain Randhawa mentioned. The pilot was blamed, the first one who was an Indian on the Lion Air flight, and the second one, it took them to realize it was the MCAS system. So the question is, we all know here, it is the FedEx, it is the miscommand, it is the RAT, it is the TCMA, it is the electrical cascading. Yes, let the results come out, but they cannot come out with a report which is incomplete, which is shoddy, which is shabby, which shows us as a joke in front of the world. In fact, on an international channel today, I was actually trying to defend India over here because they were saying, don't you think you need an autonomous system? Don't you think you need an independent judicial inquiry into this? And I was saying, yes, we need an independent body which doesn't have any kind of bureaucracy inside on specialists and experts who are not specialized in this to be sitting over there just for the heck of it. We should have a proper system which is conducted by the AAIB, and the results should be on the table because we do not want another crash, because we want safety and security of the people and aviation to be the safest mode of flying. This is the way I look at it, Uday, and I would like to wait and see. I think it will take 6 months. It won't even take 3 months. It will take 6 months because the first theory, where they're running after the pilot, proved wrong. The black box data has proved it wrong. Otherwise, within 3 months, they would have got after the pilot. And thank God they haven't.
Okay.
They are realizing the mistake. Over to you then.
My thanks to all of our guests for joining us. We've run totally out of time. We will, of course, continue tracking this story very, very closely. For the time being, though, we're taking a short break.